We begin with overnight breaking news out of Cranston, where a pair of homes have been damaged in an early morning fire.
So this was the scene on Westwood Avenue, right off of Warwick Avenue, next to Roger Williams Park. Joe Cortez has been on the scene now for a couple of hours. When you arrived, crews were there. Looks like everybody's left the scene. How did this all start, Joe?
Well, Patrick, everyone has dwindled down from the scene, but this all started right behind me in this van. You can take a look at this. I mean, completely charred off both sides of these structures. I mean, flames just went up and took over both these buildings. But just a few hours ago, we had crews rushing in here trying to contain that fire. It started in the van, hit these two structures, but that quickly spread up and shot right through the ceiling of one of these homes. Now, we spoke with the battalion chief on scene. He tells us it's still too early to identify a cause, but the old work in these homes was a factor in how quickly the fire spread after starting inside the van. Now, we arrived here at 3 a.m. Crews were in full apparatus going in and out of both buildings, focusing mainly on the attic area and on that van that was completely charred out. Now, we spoke with one of the tenants. He was actually inside the home at the time of the fire. His dogs were barking, creating a ruckus outside, and when he went out, he found the van on fire and actually tried to put it out with a hose. Now, unfortunately, he ran back inside to go get the family, but by the time he came back out, that fire just completely was up and through the house. Everyone was able to get out safely. No injuries to report. The battalion chief does tell us that 2 firefighters were transported to the hospital, but they were minor injuries, and thank God that everyone got out of here safely. Now, we have learned that the Red Cross was here just an hour ago. They're helping some of the tenants' aid situation over here and get them the help they need, as they are going to be displaced. Both homes and structures here have been deemed uninhabitable, but we're looking to gather some more information from the chief as to what likely caused this fire. But again, no injuries. Both structures are uninhabitable, and the Red Cross is here to help. For now, live in Cranston, Joe Cortez, 12 News.
All right, breaking news now out of Cranston this morning that we've been following.
An early morning fire keeping firefighters very busy after the flames spread to 2 homes. So this broke out early this morning on Westwood Avenue on the Cranston side of Roger Williams Park Zoo.
Joe Cortez has been live on the scene now for a couple of hours. Fire's out. Fire crews have actually left, Joe, but a lot went on over the last couple of hours. Fill us in.
Yeah, Patrick, there's a lot of damage to both the homes behind me and the van that we'll show you in just a minute. But I mean, just a few hours ago, there were crews up and down this street, a lot of responding firefighters here to try to take care of what this extremely, I mean, look at this fire. Look at this damage that was left behind. It was absolutely heart-wrenching to see this when you first showed up. Now, we didn't see many flames, but we saw a lot of the smoke billowing out of the White House to the right. But the fire all began inside that van right there, and we got a chance to speak with both the battalion captain and a tenant here. The battalion chief tells us that it's still too early to identify a cause, but the old work in these homes was a major factor on how quickly the fire spread. Now, we arrived here around 3 a.m. Crews were in full apparatus. They were getting in and outside the building, focusing mainly the attic area and that van that got completely charred. And we spoke with one of the tenants who was inside the home at the time of the fire, and he's crediting his dogs for saving him and his family's lives.
I was like, something's got to be going on outside, and ran out and saw my van was on fire. I tried to put it out with the hose and then realized I wasn't doing that. So went in, called 911, and then came back out, and the thing was completely engulfed. So got everybody out of the house, and thank God everybody's okay.
Now, he added that during the time of the fire, one of his family members was actually walking back inside the building in the front door, and that's when the windows shattered from the excessive heat. He said it broke like glass on a hardwood floor. Him and his family were supported here with the Red Cross. They showed up here a couple hours ago, and we've been able to speak with them. They are doing okay. No injuries to report, but on top of that, there was actually 2 firefighters who were transported to the hospital. Minor injuries, but everyone made it out of here pretty safely. So reporting live in Cranston, Joe Cortez, 12 News.